Welcome to YouTubers Love Excel number 32. Hey, if you want to download this workbook and follow along, click on my YouTube channel, then click on my college website link and download the workbook, YouTubers Love Excel 31 to 34. Hey, this is a question, and this person asks, is it possible to find all the unique words in a word list? We have a word list here, so he's trying to find the unique words and delete them. So you're left with only the duplicates. Now, there's ways to extract unique lists or even remove duplicates, but this is kind of the reverse. He just wants to remove the first occurrence of each one. Now, I don't know what he wants to do with it, but here's a bizarre way to do it. First, we're going to have to look at the match and then the row function, and then we'll use those together in conditional formatting and also with an if and then sorting. Now, let's just see what the match does, the match function. I'm going to click in this cell right here. Actually, make this a lot bigger. This cell right here. Notice there's rad, rad, rad. And what this person wanted to do was delete that one. And then super, super. So he wants to delete that one. And then excellent, excellent. So he wanted to delete that one. Let's look at the match function first. And what the match does equals is it finds the ordinal position. So if I click on this one right here, which is a relative cell reference, comma, I click in this cell, Control-Shift down arrow, and hit the F4 key because I have to lock it going down, and then comma, and I want to look up the exact match, so I'm going to type 0, close parentheses. This will tell you the match, since there's multiple ones, the matches program is it'll just find the ordinal position of the first one. So when it sees rad here, it says 1, but when it gets down here, it's going to say 1, 2. Control-Enter, Control-Shift down arrow. So this trick relies on the fact that you know that the match function only finds the first one. It's not going to say 3 here because it's the third one in the list. It still says 1. Now, what about the row? Equals row, open parentheses. I'm going to say, what's the row of A1? Hey, that's 1. Now, this is a weird formula with a relative cell reference right here that is a way to generate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 easily. Control-Enter, and then double-click and send it down. Notice every single number down here is 1 bigger. If I get to the last one and hit F2, the formula is equals row 16. Hey, what's the row of A16? 16. Now, if we put those two together, notice here this says 1 and 1, but down here, rad, the second rad has 1 and 3. But here's excellent. The match found it as the fourth value here because it was the first occurrence, but this one says row equals 4. Now, if we do both of these formulas together in a logical formula, so if I have this formula right here, match, I just copied that from here and pasted it here, equals row, open parentheses, A1, close parentheses. That's a clever way of a logical formula that every time a number equals a number, it'll say true. And if I Control-Enter and double-click and send that down, I can see that now I have my list. This is the first occurrence. It says true. This is the first occurrence, so it says true. Rad, that's not the first occurrence, so it says false. So this is the true-false formula we can use to determine exactly where the first occurrence is. Now I'm going to scroll up here, and I have 3 sections because I want to do one trick with conditional formatting, and then I want to do another trick with the if function and sorting because the idea here is to delete all of the first occurrence. Now I'm going to click in this cell right here and Control-Shift down arrow. That's just as a quick way to highlight. And make sure that the first cell at the top is highlighted. And then I'm going to go to Conditional Formatting. Home, Styles, Conditional Formatting. In 2003, it's Format, Conditional Formatting. The keyboard shortcut that works in both is Alt-O-D. Alt-O-D. Uh-oh, looks like I already have it here. I'm going to click this and delete. New rule. Click on this formula, and we want to create a true-false formula here. Now, in 2003, you click in the first text box and select Formula Is. Here it is, equals match, open parentheses. This one right here, I got to get rid of those dollar signs because I don't want it locked. comma, and then I want to highlight this whole, and this keyboard shortcut to highlight this whole column is very important here because we're in the middle of a dialog box and we can't see all the cells. So if I click on the first one and Control-Shift-Down arrow, it conveniently puts them in. And they're locked, which is what we want, and then comma 0, close parentheses, equals row, open parentheses, A1, close parentheses. That's a true, false formula as we saw. Now I'm going to click Format. And under Fill, I'm going to, and in 2003 it's Pattern, I'm going to click Black. And under Font, I'm going to make sure it's white. And then click OK, and then click OK, and then click OK. That's a way of conditional formatting to at least highlight them, and then you could do whatever you want. You could right-click the rows and then deleting, do it by hand. But I want to go down here and try it a slightly different way with the if function and then use sort. And then it's a faster way to delete all of the unique first occurrences. Equals if, open parentheses. Now we have to have our logical test. Now this is the third time we're typing it in, which is fine because it's good practice. Match of this right here, relative cell reference, comma. I'm going to click on the top, Control-Shift-Down arrow, and then F4 to lock it, comma 0, close parentheses. That's the first part of it, equals row, open parentheses, A1, close parentheses. Guess what? That is a true false. Now, for a lot of us, that seems pretty weird to type this in as the logical test for the if. I mean, what is that? But the fact that we did it a few times and, in fact, did it in the cells and saw that it delivered a true and false will help us get over the difficulty of a true-false formula like that. And that's how you learn. You do it in cells like that, see that it comes out true, false, and then do it inside of an if. Now, comma. Now, value if true. If this is true, that means it's the first unique. I'm going to say double quote to put a blank in the cell. Comma. Otherwise, in quotes, OK, double quote, close parentheses. That's just a way of putting two different things in the cell. And then we can sort, and it will be easy to delete. I'm going to Control-Enter. Oh, look, that one's blank. But I'm going to double-click and send it down. I got a bunch of OKs. Now, it's simple. We have our little database, these and these. We can go to sort. In 2003, it's data menu sort, or the sorting buttons is the easiest way. Data menu ribbon in 2007, and then I'm going to click A to Z. And just like that, it sorts all the unique records up to the top, and then you can simply highlight the rows, right-click, delete. And so there you go. That's how to do some pretty cool true, false, the match, the row function, and how to get rid of the unique values. All right, see you next YouTuber trick.